Hi guys, Adrian from centrecourt.com.au. Welcome to day 2. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to rally. What does that mean? It means you and I are going to hit the ball over the net, to each other hopefully, and just have some good old-fashioned fun. So you're going to learn how to hit a forehand, how to hit a backhand. We're also going to cover the fact that tennis is really not even about how you hit. It's much more about how you move. I also give you some tips as to how to develop those rallying skills if you're not so good at the start. Forehand. Let me quickly show you how to hit that. So as a right-hander, a forehand is where the ball comes to my right side. If you're a left-hander, it's where it comes to your left side. You just use one hand. It will look something like this from the front. Okay, I'll show you from the side. Main thing I want you to do, start from down near your hip. You'll see that the racket is straight up and down. It's not like this, it's not like that. It's not up there, because in this case, obviously, you're going to then swing down and hit the ball into the net. So start it at your hip, you're pointing it to the back fence, and the racket is straight up and down. Try and step into the ball as you hit, and then just straight through. You'll see that when I finish, my upper arm is parallel to the court. A good training tip is catch the racket in your other hand, your left hand, out in front of you. So once again, from your hip, step and hit. So from the hip, start down with your hip. How you get there is up to you. You could take it down like that. You can take it like that, but step from the hip. No, step from the hip. Start from the hip, step, and hit. And you can try catching it. So it will look something like that from the front. Backhand. You're going to use two hands. Please, for the love of God, use two hands. It's not better than using one hand, it's just so much easier. Now, I did tell you to get the low compression balls. With the low compression balls, you'll get away with using one hand. But if you wanted to progress to using proper balls, you're going to find it so much easier with two hands. So you might as well get practice at that now, so you're good at it now. Other than that, it's exactly the same as hitting a forehand, except you're basically going to be thinking about using your left hand. So I'll show you. You will have two hands on the racket. So I'm a right-hander, remember? Right hand's on the bottom. That's how I was hitting my forehand. The left hand goes on top. So make sure the left hand's on top, right hand on bottom. I'm starting it down at my hip. I step in and I swing. Once again, I'll show you from the side. Start from the hip, step in. I can't catch the racket, obviously, because I've got both hands on the racket already. But the main check again is if you can have the upper arm parallel to the court, that just means you've hit all the way through the ball. You've noticed that I told you to get side on, so forehand here, backhand here. You can hit front on if you want, there's no problem with that. Just getting side on helps get a bit more weight into the shot, and as a beginner, just finding your feet on the court makes it a little bit easier. But I mean, you can hit from front on if you wish. If you insist on hitting one-handed backhands, okay, maybe you're one of those people that just can't hit with two. You're going to have to learn how to hit two of them. There's two different types. Yet another reason to avoid learning it, because you've got two different ones to learn. You can only spend half the time practicing each and only get half as good. But you'll need to learn to hit a top spin backhand. So something that, look here, again, starting at the hip and finishing through like that. And if you can, pull your left hand back like that. And then there'll be another one, which is called a slice backhand. You start from there, step in, and you go from high to low. So the top spin goes low to high. Slice goes from high to low. So top spin. Start from the hip, low to high. Again, pull the left hand back and slice high to low. Pull the left hand back. It's a lot harder, requires a lot better footwork. You do get a little bit of extra reach, but it's not worth the trade-off. So definitely, if you're teaching your child how to start, or you're starting, I see no reason why you should be trying with one hand. Often it ends up looking something like this, and they go, oh, look, I got it over the net. Yes, but you probably could have done a lot better with two. And I've seen that time and time and again. So that's your forehand and backhand sorted. Okay, now tennis. I've taught you how to hit the forehand and backhand, and if you take a lesson, very often you find that your child, the first thing they'll learn how to do is hit a forehand, and the second thing they'll learn how to do is hit a backhand. All well and good until you actually go and play tennis and you find where your coach was so nice as to throw you the ball here every time, you go out with a friend, right? And the first ball's there, second ball's over there, or you do get a rally going, one's there, one's up there, and one's over there. It's not intentional, any of it, but the ball goes all over the place because your partner doesn't have control. So tennis number one, get this into your head, it's a movement sport first. It's a striking sport second. I mean, if you've got the world's best strokes, but you don't move to get the ball, you have no chance whatsoever. So if you can run like the wind and get to the ball every time, even if you don't have the best technique, you've got a really great chance. Now, how are we actually going to get up to the stage of rallying, particularly if you've got a child starting? I'll give you 3 levels. Level 1 and level 2 will basically apply to children only. Level 3 is where the adults will start. Real quick, you're the parent, I'm the child. Level 1 is throw, bounce, catch. You're on the other side of the net, so I'm on this side of the net, you're over there. You're going to underarm the ball to me, that's the throw. Please don't wind up and peg, so no matter how tempted you are, you're going to underarm throw. So you'll be on that side. You'll throw the ball to me over the net, I'll let it bounce once, here comes the ball you threw, and I'll catch. And then encourage me to step in, throw it to you, underarm, over the net, bounce, and then you catch. So you can imagine you can get 2 children doing this, or you as a parent can throw it to me. And I would start by trying to throw it directly at the child to make it easier. If that looks pretty comfortable, then you can try moving them around a little bit. So you might throw one there, you might throw one there, and get them used to moving. And the other thing is, if they throw it to you, and it's not exactly at you, make sure that you moved to catch the ball too. You can't really be, as a parent, going, oh, you should have moved to catch that ball, but then when they throw it and you could have moved, you go, well, you didn't throw it at me. So you can't have that double standard there. So you'll have to be ready to move as well. So level 1, throw, bounce, catch. And I should have said this at first. You can see where I am. This is called the service line. I'm halfway up in the court. I'm not at that baseline. Please do not start there. In fact, if it's a 5-year-old child, you might very well be starting even closer. Come as close as you need to. No rules there. Come as close as you need to. As you get better, move further back. So level 1, throw, bounce, catch. Okay, level 2, you're the parent again. You're going to do exactly the same to me. Throw it to me, I'll let it bounce. So this time you're going to try and throw it to my forehand. I'm going to try and hit it to you, and you're going to try and catch it. So I'm working on hitting, but hitting to you so that you can catch. So I'm working on my control. Now, if it doesn't look like the proper technique that I discussed, if it doesn't look like that, and it's probably not going to, because if they swung like that, the ball would probably go way past you. If it looks more like that, is that okay? Of course it's okay. Whatever works. We want to get you started quickly. So throw from you, as a parent on the other side of the net, throw, bounce, hit, and then you catch. Or it could be throw, bounce, I hit, bounce, catch. And then just make sure you do it on the backhand side. So as a parent, you can throw some to their forehand, some to their backhand. Make sure you do practice a backhand. Make sure your child is not afraid of hitting backhands. A lot of beginners, just for some reason, they hate the backhand. And I think, honestly, the only reason is because they start on the forehand first and they just keep doing that. If you have 2 children, they can do that drill together. Make sure that the thrower is throwing the ball nicely to them. Sometimes the children have difficulty throwing the ball so it lands in front. They'll throw the ball when it goes over. If you were the other child, you'd throw it, and often it goes over my head, so obviously I can't hit it back. But that's level 2, right? So throw, bounce, hit, bounce, catch. Level 3. This is probably where adults will start, not because they should, but probably because they have the coordination to do level 1 and level 2, or frankly, they're just too embarrassed to do level 1 and 2, even if they did need that practice. Level 3, you're going to rally. Start as close as you need to. Stand as far back as you have to let the ball bounce. So don't go so close that the ball's getting you on the full. I suggest starting around the service line. You start it with an underarm serve, also known as a donkey drop. So you just let the ball bounce, tap it, and then you'll hit it back, and then hopefully we can get some sort of a rally going. Again, focus on movement, not how you're hitting. Little taps will do just fine. Try and control it, and try and let it bounce once before you hit. Technically in tennis, if I let it bounce twice, I lose a point. That's why I say let it bounce once. But that's level 3, rallying. So you'll be doing some forehand, some backhand, focus on the moving, not the hitting, and you can get obviously 2 children doing that together. By the way, that's a really important point to reach in your tennis development, the ability to have a rally in the mini court, what I call the mini court, which means you're only here, the mini court, whereas that, if you're back there, it's like the big court, right? But being able to do that rally is a super important thing. After that, what do? Easy. Move back. Back, 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 until you're around about here. Go as far back as you want. You might even be able to do it all the way back from the baseline. Probably once you're confidently having a rally from the baseline, that's where you might want to transition to the normal balls. But don't get me wrong, you can rally for many days and weeks with the low compression balls from back here. And because they're softer, you'll be able to really hit them hard and they'll hopefully still go in. That won't happen with the harder balls. And you can do that for a long time, have fun, and that's great. It's not going to hurt your development, really. But if you want to step it up, basically when you're back there, you could try with the yellow balls and just see how you go. So that's level 3. So 1, throw, bounce, catch. 2, throw, bounce, hit, bounce, catch. And level 3, just having a rally, okay? Well, guys, that's about it for day 2. Get out there and rally. You might spend a lot of time just doing this. And that's okay. You don't need to do any more than that. If you have any questions, make sure you email me, let me know. I'm Adrian from centrecourt.com.au, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.